students, today I have Aaron with me who is looking to pursue aerospace, and he's gonna tell us a little bit about that. So can you start off by introducing yourself?
So my name is Aaron. I'm actually a junior at Egamai International School, and I'm interested in studying aerospace, specifically commercial aircraft in Germany.
So why exactly did you choose aerospace? What inspired you?
Well, aerospace has been a passion of mine ever since I was a kid. I'm actually half Malaysian, half Thai, and for Chinese New Year I have to fly to Malaysia quite often actually. And it's just, I've always loved flying. Some people think like, oh, the immigration process is boring, going through all these long processes are boring. But every single time I get to board a plane, I always like the window seat. I just look out, it's like, wow, this is pretty intense engineering. It just seems like everything that's been made here like somehow gets hundreds of people flying. And that's why ever since I was a kid I was very interested in planes, originally wanting to be a pilot, but later on I just realized that I love designing planes more, like thinking of how planes should work instead of, flying them myself.
It sounds to me like you discovered your passion much earlier on.
Yeah, very early on actually, compared to some people that I know.
How can you be sure that this was your path? Did you have any regrets or second thoughts?
I knew I wanted to do aerospace for sure, but I just didn't know what field or what branch exactly. But it's just, I had some other ideas, like maybe I wanted to be a theoretical physicist, but that was just a phase after watching too much Big Bang Theory. But yeah, I just kept going on, and I knew for sure I wanted to do something related to planes. But just when I got into middle school and I started playing a lot more games, I actually found this game called Simple Planes, where it's kind of like a plane design simulator where you get to test out random ideas you want to try out. And I just felt that aerospace was something I wanted to pursue in the long run, regardless of what branch it would be.
Let's say I was a student who was wondering whether I should go into aerospace or not, and I'm not quite sure how I should go about discovering that. What would you recommend I do?
I mean, just in general, if you're interested in, or if you want to learn more about something, just look for any opportunity you can. Like, I know BBA currently, July, there's the BBA camp that happened I think a few days ago. Just anything you're interested in, just go find opportunities, do some research about it, read like what people are doing in the current field. And if you're interested in aerospace, you also should think about like where you want to go, because obviously in Thailand, the aerospace sector, especially ones related to space and rockets, are actually developing quite quickly. But for those related to like commercial craft, if you're looking for more of those, America or Europe would be a better fit.
Sounds like you've done a lot of research on the activities and the things you could do over the years. So what activities have you participated in?
Specifically for aerospace, I've been to mainly just like, I think it was like Lat Krabang had some aerospace camp. I think I've been to one of those, but that's actually the only one I've been to, like a single activity, because they're really hard to find. Because I have one friend, he's currently in the States now, but when he was in Thailand, he actually found an internship at an airplane servicing company in Chiang Mai. So he was able to do that over the winter. And since he's in America now, he actually emailed a bunch of universities and got an opportunity to do some research regarding aerospace. So that's what I'm trying to do here as well, but it's quite tricky as well.
So it's pretty tricky to find an internship with aerospace here.
For sure, especially research internships, especially at the high school level, are very hard to find in Thailand in general actually.
So what exactly made you decide on Germany?
So Germany, originally was my mom actually who was like recommending Germany back in like middle school, but then my entire life I've also appreciated a lot of like German things, like because for me I'm a classical musician, I like piano, and I listen to, my favorite composer is Beethoven, so I've really liked that ever since I was a kid. And I'm also a table tennis player, and my favorite player was a German player, his name is Timo Boll, and it's just, I don't know, like I kind of always appreciated like German people and German sports, German music. And yeah, it's just when I did more research into Germany itself, there's a lot of pros. So firstly, like education is quite cheap compared to other like countries. In the States, sometimes it's like $1 million baht for one semester or like 1 year. For Germany, originally some states will give you 150 euros per semester. While the one I'm planning to go in Germany is TUM. they currently increased the price per semester to like 2,000 to 3,000 euros, but that is still far cheaper than the States if you take that as a comparison, because the States is basically the biggest or one of the best places to go for aerospace.
You said there were plenty of advantages to going to Germany. Are there any disadvantages?
Well, one main disadvantage, well, it's up to the way you put it. You will need to learn the language if you want to get into, of course, like more public streams, because in Germany itself, they are, for those companies who want to hire, or it's just better overall to go to a fully German program. And you need to get up to basically university level German, of course, if you want to study there.
If I was a student considering Germany as an option, what should I think about?
Well, okay, then if you're planning to go to Germany, one thing I've done in my study of it is that if you have an IB diploma, then you can immediately just go directly to university, because the process to go to Germany or study in German universities is actually quite a bit different. First of all, if you're coming from a, let's say, American diploma or Thai diploma, you will have to take, or not have to, in some cases you might have to, but it's recommended you take 1 year of student college, which is basically preparatory college. And this 1 year, it depends on the course you're taking. I'm going for the engineering side, so I'm taking the T course, which includes physics, calculus, chemistry, as well as German itself. So those are the subjects you'll be taking in there. You'll be learning it directly in German.
So we've moved into a shadier area to talk to Aaron here for a little longer. I want to ask you now, what steps are you taking to make your dream a reality?
One thing for TUM specifically, you will need, at least from my research, you need 3 subjects. You need a language subject, a science subject, and a math subject. If you're doing AP, then AP. Then it's, for me, I'm doing calculus, then physics 1, and then for language it would be English. And of course, one of the most important things is your language certificate, of course. So I'm taking German courses and I'm doing my B1 exam this December and trying to progress B2, C1 as fast as I can.
And with these qualifications, do you need any extracurricular activities?
Well, for Germany itself, extracurriculars in the sense that most of us Thai students think, like for example, let's say MUN or debate, aren't really as, focused on. What I think, from what I've seen, at least German philosophy of like looking for extracurriculars has to be more based on work and basically what you're intending to take. So I know for America, at least, sometimes experience in any field is good, but Germany is looking more for like work experience or any activities you've done related to the field you want to study.
Do you have any resources you can recommend students?
Okay, the issue with Germany and German universities is that information is quite hard to find and is ever changing. So one thing I could recommend is, if you know anybody, like relatives or just students there in Germany itself, I would advise you guys to go and ask them, like, what's the process like for you? Because the process for someone pre-COVID could be completely different to someone who just applied this year or last year.
So, do you have any final advice for our students here who may be interested in pursuing aerospace?
If you're interested in doing aerospace, and you want to do something related to it in high school, then I suggest that you don't give up if you can't really find opportunities, or if things get difficult, then don't give up. Stay strong. And if you find something, do text me. I also want to join any sorts of activities. You can also find me. And yeah, so I'd say aerospace is one of the fields that a lot of people want to go into, and it's quite varied. So if you're interested in going, then find out what you want to do, because I'd say it's a pretty fun subject.
So, we have a final challenge for you, and that's a theoretical question. If you were part of the team who gets to build a rocket to any planet in our solar system, which planet would it be and why?
If I were to build a rocket and go to any planet in the solar system, I would have to say Mars, because Mars is one of the more similar planets to like Earth, and it's a planet which in the past could have been, something like Earth, with an atmosphere, with oceans, with life itself. And those are just speculative theories, but if we're able to get there and actually set up like a colony, then it could be our first step as a civilization to become not just dependent on our own Earth, but then a civilization that could live, in our entire solar system.